Welcome back to The Explainer. We're jumping right in today because we are completely reframing something you literally see every single day, but probably haven't given a second thought to. We are diving into the ultimate masterclass on choosing, sizing, and styling a modern walking cane, and we're pulling all of this directly from the incredibly comprehensive DaiWalk Buyer's Guide. We're going to cover the biomechanics, the materials, and yes, even high fashion. So let's get into it and completely flip how we view mobility. For decades, there's been this heavy, honestly pretty outdated stigma surrounding mobility aids, right? When you picture a walking cane, your brain probably jumps straight to a sterile hospital corridor, some clunky aluminum tubing, and pure medical necessity. But is a walking cane actually a sign of physical limitation? Emphatically no. It is a tool of freedom. What DaiWalk's research shows us is a total paradigm shift. When you use it correctly, a cane isn't holding you back at all. Actually, it extends your balance, boosts your confidence on uneven ground, and most importantly, it gets you back out there living your life without second-guessing every step. It's all about proactive support, not defeat. And let's back up that empowering shift with some hard data. 50%. Modern research tells us that a correctly fitted cane can reduce the physical load on an affected hip or knee joint by up to half. Just think about that. We're talking about significantly less daily pain, and according to the mobility studies out there, a massive 38% reduction in fall injuries. That is a simple tool doing a ridiculously heavy amount of lifting for your body. Okay, here's our roadmap for this explainer. 1. Rethinking the walking cane. 2. Finding your perfect height. 3. Handles, materials, and tips. 4. Styling your everyday accessory. 5. Who uses canes today? And 6. Walk boldly with DaiWalk. Moving right along to Section 2, Finding Your Perfect Height. Look, height is absolutely the single most important variable we're going to talk about today. Because if your cane is too short, you're going to be hunched over, totally wrecking your posture. But if it's too tall, your elbow flares out and transfers a ton of strain straight into your shoulder. To nail this, you just use a super practical measurement known as the wrist roll. It's incredibly easy. Step 1, just stand up straight in the shoes you normally wear. Step 2, let your arms hang completely relaxed at your sides. And Step 3, the very top of the cane's handles should align perfectly with the crease of your wrist. It's literally that simple, and it dictates exactly how effective the cane is going to be for you. When you follow the wrist rule, your elbow is going to naturally fall into a 15 to 20 degree bend. Biomechanically speaking, this is the absolute sweet spot for transferring weight from your upper body straight down through the cane. Oh, and a really crucial pro tip straight from the guide. Always, always hold the cane in the hand opposite to your weaker leg. That perfectly mimics your body's natural walking rhythm. So once you have that height, you have to choose the right kind of shaft. You've basically got two options, fixed height or adjustable. Now, adjustable canes are fine if you're, say, sharing it with someone, but they carry a lot of added visual bulk, and that little adjustment mechanism, it creates a structural weak point. Fixed-type canes offer this incredibly clean, strong, one-piece construction. Once you lock in your wrist roll measurement, a fixed cane is infinitely better for long-term daily use. All right, Section 3, Handles, Materials, and Tips. Now that we've got sizing totally dialed in, let's talk about the physical anatomy of the cane itself. Let's start with the touch points, like the handle. A great handle isn't just a random piece of molded plastic. It is a serious feat of dedicated design. DaiWalk actually evaluated over 70 different handle shapes before they landed on their original 1.0 ergonomic contour. It's sculptural, it ditches those weird clinical protrusions, and honestly, the best part is how it distributes pressure completely evenly across your entire palm. If you're leaning on a cane for hours, that even pressure is literally the difference between feeling great and dealing with severe hand fatigue. And the shaft material is just as critical for daily comfort. People really underestimate how much the weight matters. But lifting a heavy steel or a thick hardwood cane thousands of times a day, that adds up fast. DaiWalk specifically opts for materials like high-grade aluminum alloys to strike this perfect balance. It keeps the weight incredibly low, but it still maintains the structural confidence to last for over a decade without any joint weakness. Finally, we get to where the rubber meets the road. Literally, the tip. Sure, there are those big, bulky quad bases for heavy rehab or metal spikes if you're trekking across ice, but for clean, quiet, everyday city use, a standard single rubber tip is hands down the best choice. Here's a huge takeaway though. Rubber wears down, just like car tires. For your own safety and traction, you really need to be swapping that tip out every 3 to 6 months if you're using it every day. On to Section 4, Styling Your Everyday Accessory. We've thoroughly covered the mechanics and the biomechanics. Now, let's pivot and talk fashion. Because if you're carrying something around with you every single day, it shouldn't just be some bland medical necessity. You should treat a walking cane exactly how you treat a premium watch, a designer handbag, or a great pair of shoes. A cane doesn't have to be invisible. You can use bold, vibrant colors, think rich cobalt blues, bright pinks, or vivid reds, to act as a fantastic statement piece. It can intentionally pop against a simple plaid shirt and denim, or seamlessly tie into a really modern, curated outfit. It is a true everyday accessory. And, of course, just like you wouldn't wear hiking boots to a gala, you can curate your cane based on your environment. Doing daily city errands? You want that lightweight Original 1.0 with a single tip. Hopping on a flight? Standard canes are totally airline and TSA friendly. Hitting up some outdoor trails? You might actually want one slightly longer for inclines, equipped with a more robust tip. And for a formal night out, a sleek, minimalist design effortlessly blends right into an evening outfit, instead of distracting from it. It is amazing how beautifully a well-crafted cane integrates into a casual, youthful look. Imagine warm, natural tones, like a gorgeous wooden shaft paired with a pop of yellow on the handle, worn with some crisp white denim and cool sneakers. It completely, 100% erases that clinical hospital aesthetic we were talking about earlier. It looks completely intentional. It looks stylish. Section 5. Who uses canes today? Okay, we really need to actively debunk this old demographic myth that canes are strictly for the elderly or the severely impaired. The modern spectrum of users is incredibly diverse. Yes, absolutely, it includes post-surgery recovery and chronic things like arthritis. But it also includes people dealing with inner ear balance issues. It includes active hikers and older athletes who just want that extra bit of confident movement. It heavily includes younger adults managing sports injuries or hypermobility, and more, it includes highly style-conscious buyers who proactively choose to use a cane, simply because they want a supportive, fantastic-looking tool for navigating uneven city streets. And finally, Section 6, Walk Boldly with DaiWalk. Let's bring all these elements, the perfect biomechanical fit, those premium materials, and the bold, unapologetic styling together into an action plan. These canes are built to last, and they are explicitly designed to be seen. Think sleek black shafts, bright contrasting handles, maybe a bold blue tip. The absolute most important thing to take away from this explainer is that you do not need a doctor's permission slip to proactively choose stability. If you feel unsteady on stairs or during a long walk, grabbing a beautifully designed tool like this is a pure act of empowerment. So, here is your next step. I highly encourage you to head directly over to DaiWalk.com. That's DIWalk.com. You can find your exact fit, play around with all those incredible custom colors, and really claim your own style. They even offer bespoke, personalized design options, and their support teams are standing by to help you lock in that absolute perfect fixed height measurement we talked about. I want to leave you with this final, somewhat provocative question. Knowing what you know right now about the biomechanics, that amazing 50% reduction in joint stress, and the sheer amount of style that's available to you, are you really going to let some outdated social stigma hold you back? Or are you ready to embrace your mobility and walk differently? The choice is entirely yours. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and as always, keep learning.